Hello and welcome back to the Stack Cash AMA. As always, I am Muddy Mo, a board member here at Stack Cash, and we'd like to welcome you guys to our 17th AMA. Today's August 26th, and we're just here to again talk about the greatness of the community banking DAO, which is Stack Cash. So today we'll be discussing multiple things. I know a lot of people have been waiting. As we always say, we've taken a lot of time and put a lot of effort into the details, into the fine tuning the details of the Stack Cash protocol to make sure we have the best DeFi project possible for all users and all potential users. And one thing about Stack Hash is, of course, our slogan is for DeFi users by DeFi users. And we also want to extend the olive branch out to the crypto space and also to the traditional world or the general world as a whole. If I feel like a lot of people, well, we feel like a lot of people can use a passive income generator, so you can be your own bank. So on this AMA, we'll be talking about what's here and what's to come. One major part of Stack Cash is that we have a roadmap, and we've had a previous roadmap, but this is a new and updated roadmap, which I'll be talking to shortly with you all about what's to come on that roadmap. And then a lot of people are excited to say, "Hey, when's the launch?" So you'll get a clear cut time frame for when the launch, and also when some other major facets of the Stack Cash protocol will be available. So we're happy to have you. Just for some house cleaning, feel free to leave a comment or come ask questions. Also, if you are catching it on a replay, feel free to leave comments. And definitely, if you all would, on all of our social media platforms, hit likes, comment, and just interact with us. We're a very, customer, or not even just customer, a user focused platform. And being a DAO, everyone has a say here at Stack Cash. So we're just excited to be able to have this 17th AMA and be able to talk about the Stack Cash protocol. All right. So again, just for kind of to rehash. So last week we talked about the white paper. So the white paper is available, and I'll go through that in just a moment. But feel free. Some people need some reading materials, and some people want to get knowledge about what's to come. The Stack Cash white paper is the best place. Now, I will say this: one thing that's special about the Stack Cash white paper is that not only is it, giving all the information and the details of the project, one major thing that it's doing it, it also kind of gives you an understanding on why it's sustainable. And we've talked in multiple AMAs about, Stack Cash being a sustainable DeFi project. So, that's one thing that we're focused on. And I will tell you guys, especially our board, as of late, we've been really discussing, even further on how to keep and make and keep Stack Cash sustainable, especially portions within it. As you all know, we have multiple products within Stack Cash that all are used for passive income. So again, everything comes to a vote, and people have been really spreading ideas, and we just want that to kind of go out to all of you all as well to understand what Stack Cash is built for and made of. So very excited to have AMA with you guys. As always, we might have board members pop in, we might not. We might have committee members pop up, and also, as users, if you want to come on and just talk about Stack Cash or just DeFi in general, Stack Cash is made for that. This AMA is made for that, so feel free. All right, so let's get to our next screen here. All right, sorry guys, and I hope you all are having a good Saturday. As always, we've been really consistent. I think we've it might have been the last 17 of 18 Saturdays we've been right here. And we'll continue to do so because the main thing is, especially before the launch, making sure that everybody has an understanding of what this protocol can offer. I like to say all the time, it's just not regular. We're measuring 3 times to cut once. And, with all the details, and, we've seen other projects that, have had difficulties, staying stable, and not just that, being where we, all users can have a voice. We've really tried to build something that will benefit most users. So we're excited again to have you guys with us. As always, this is our link tree. If you guys would come check out our link tree, it's in the description of this video. Also, if you're watching on Twitter, feel free. It's also in the main description on X. I should have said Twitter, but it's really X. So yeah, so this is always going to hold the resources for Stack Cash. So you guys can come here and find really whatever you need as a basis to Stack Cash and what we're doing as a protocol. Down here, as always, we have our All About Stack Cash, which is really a first mover in the DeFi space, where we have where we have our white paper in video form, so you can go and check out the main facets of the Stack Cash protocol. Now, one thing that's special about this is, this is the basis of the project, of course. However, the great thing about Stack Cash is that we're just not stuck in mud, right? We're gonna continue to kind of trudge along and push forward with the newest innovations in the DeFi space. So making a project that is able to be adaptable and that can always over time evolve and also always be a project that's built for the people. So yeah, so all about Stack Cash, again, it's original to us here at Stack Cash in knowing what DeFi users want to see. So if you're interested in learning more about Stack Cash, these All About Stack Cash video series are right here in in the link tree. And also below, if you want to catch up on any of the AMAs, you just want to do some good listening. You want to hear some of our board members' voices and hear kind of what our take is. And not just that, you can kind of cover our journey here with these AMAs. Feel free. It's also in the link tree here. And also, we have our Medium articles at the bottom. We have a couple board members who do a phenomenal job of, writing Medium articles. And it's like nowadays is newspaper. You get to have knowledge about something in written form. I know Tina and Littlefish are a couple of the board members that done a phenomenal job of writing Medium articles. So feel free to come check us out there. Also, up here, we'll go through the website in just a moment. Now, while we're talking primarily about the roadmap today, one thing of note that's really important is, the website. So a lot of people's like, hey, we need a website to see. Well, the website is very, very close to where it needs to be in order to essentially have you guys have a basis. Now we know the link tree. It's not going anywhere. It's going to always be here, and it's a resource. Again, you'll find all kind of resources here, but the website is going to be where everything is housed. So if you want to get a real understanding of Stack Cash, you can come to the link tree, but also the website will be here shortly. Also, today, we'll talk more about the roadmap, which is a part of a light paper. But if you want to, in a very condensed form, learn about Stack Cash, learn about what's going on. The light paper is also a very good resource. We have it right here in the link tree. You can download it. It's PDF form. You can, it's a quick and easy read. But it has the older roadmap in this light paper. We'll be providing a newer roadmap and a new version of the light paper coming soon. So I know, up until it's been an 8-month journey for Stack Cash, since the beginning of 2023 until now. And, up until now, it's been, sparingly things have been put out. However, what you're going to see, and I say this all the time, we're kind of at the top of the mountain now when it comes to things getting rolling and the ball's getting rolling with Stack Cash. So now we're kind of going downhill, and you guys will see that things are becoming a lot faster. So especially as we go through the roadmap to kind of get a clear understanding of exactly what's going on, we'll be kind of rolling downhill and picking up some speed. So you want to make sure that you're kind of staying aware of what's going on within the Stack Cash ecosystem. So, and last but not least, as we've talked about, it's been a long wait on this. And shout out, we have a committee member. I think his name is Pete. Pete says, "Hey, my wife printed this out and it looks good." The board, we've worked really hard on, getting the white paper, which is original to us. We have original parts in the white paper, but getting that out to you guys, and it looks so good in printout form. So yeah, so if you guys are interested in seeing the white paper, you can definitely come here to the link tree, download it. Tell a friend to tell a friend, share with a friend, and tell them to share with a friend. This is one of those things that is, again, it's going to adapt over time, but however, for now, it's the basis of what Stack Cash is, and really, it's the best parts of DeFi all put into kind of one place. So feel free, have fun, have a ball with that. And last but not least, at the very top here, we have all of our social media links. We have, X or Twitter, Discord, Telegram, YouTube, and you can also email us. We'll be talking partnerships in the future. Stack Cash is made, essentially is made for partnerships with other DeFi projects as well. We're not limited. Some people say, "Oh, I hate projects with a native coin, and they just want to make all the money and spend all the money." No, 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 no. Stack Cash is embrace of I think that's the right way to say that. But Stack Cash embraces other DeFi projects as well as users that's outside of the DeFi space. But you can always email us if you have questions or if you want to talk business or partnerships. We're also welcome and open to that. So all right. So let's take a look. So as always, feel free to follow us on X. X is the place. Like we are constantly updating X. We have our white paper pinned to the top here. But as you see here, we also have community members who has done a phenomenal job of just keeping the name alive of Stack Cash, especially right now in DeFi. It's a little slow. So with Stack Cash, we're just constantly just putting information out so you guys are aware. So shout out to Lou, and we have other posts here, but we also have other community members. You can also see that we have our AMAs here live on Twitter and X. But you got Vin, you got Tina, you got Donatello. All are doing a phenomenal job of just putting out information and making sure you guys have all the inside scoop essentially on what Stack Cash is doing. So definitely feel free to come check us out on X, where we have a lot of information. If you have questions, you can always reach us through X. All right, so let's get more in depth about Stack Cash. As always, I come here to we have the website, we have the servers and all that stuff. I'm telling you guys, we are just gearing up. So once this website is launched, you're going to see things move faster and faster, and we'll talk about that more in just a moment with the roadmap. However, definitely want to come here and check out our Stack Cash homepage. So it's right now it's in our link tree, but it's still under construction. It's not completely done. But here is going to be again the home base of everything. It talks entities, what's the stack token, what's the cash token, and just better knowledge about the project as a whole. And one of the major things is we talk about next steps and launches and different things like that. Here you can come to entities. We're offering all users to have a chance to have ownership in Stack Cash. So I talked about this every AMA, so I'll do it again here because it's really important, especially with some of the aspects that we have to Stack Cash. You're gonna make more gains by being an owner, just like anything. Owners in anything, you're gonna really benefit from all the success of the project or protocol, business, what have you. So again, here we have our NCTs, which is different levels that you can have ownership in the project. And early adopters, they get a substantial amount of benefit from being an early adopter, because not only do they get an NTT, and along with that NTT comes voting privileges, so much more with that. They also get certain value that's built into the distribution. So what I mean by that is once the project is launched and once it's live, the early adopters already have a piece that they get essentially reimbursed back. And not only just that, they get additional value up to 250% of their deposit back through the contract and so forth and so on. So again, I know it's in DeFi, we always think, hey guys, what's the next token? What's the next token? What's the next token? Well, one thing that Stack Cash, again, we're for DeFi users, by DeFi users. One thing we emphasize is that you want to own this. You want to have a say in what goes on. You want to really be at the table. You don't want to, catch the crumbs falling off, and you don't want to get the doggy. Some people feed their dog from the table. Not me, but some people do, and they put the plate on the floor. You don't want to eat off the plate off the floor. Come sit at the table and have a part in one of the most revolutionary projects that you'll see in the space. And a lot of people from outside of DeFi, um, you know, they look at the crypto space a certain way. But one thing we want to emphasize about this project is this is essentially your own bank. So with Stack Cash, you'll be able to, have your own funds in your custody, move it as you so choose, and really move forward in a position where you can really control how much you make every day, especially if you participate. So just keep that in mind. Okay, let's see if we can go back. I do want to continue to show you guys the NTTs before we jump into the roadmap. And now, remember that, anything can be voted in or voted out with Stack Cash. Everything comes down to a vote. So we have a potential roadmap we're going to show you guys, but it also could be adapted. So before we put it on the link tree, we'll definitely discuss it. But before we put it on the link tree, we'll be able to take a look at it today. All right. Um, okay. So sorry guys, my computer's moving a little bit slow. It's quite all right though. It's quite all right. All right. So the board NTTs. So now we have a H board and a board NTT. The H board will be available after launch. However, as a user, you'll need to essentially um, you know, reach the average amount of stack that's held by all board members, which for some people is going to be hard to do. So it's best to get in early and get it permanent. So that's one option. Another option is we have a committee entity, which feeds from another treasury. However, this is more for the common man. In the early adopters phases of this, we'll have the committee entity will be available for $1,000, where you can also get extra benefits from that. Whereas you'll get, $250 credit print in principal in Cashbox, and also $250 credit in CBC pool of your choosing. So to really explain this, just to kind of rehash, Cashbox is a CD contract where you can essentially, make a certain percentage per day. We'll talk about that at the future times, but 0.5% per day is available to everybody. So you can, approach it like that and make earnings as you so choose. Also, we have CBC, which pays you out in direct blue chip tokens, and you can get APRs on those tokens. So getting a head start in that for essentially the same value that the committee entity will be after launch is just a big head start. So don't miss out on that. All right. So let's go back here. Okay. Vin said he'll be on shortly. Okay. Appreciate you, Vin. All right. So for today, guys, again, we'll be talking about the roadmap. So, we'll touch on the white paper, but I'll certainly make sure, we talk about the roadmap mostly. So generally, what is a roadmap? A roadmap is just where we plan to be as a project and what we're looking for, what you should be looking forward to from Stack Cash. Now, some people, I'll tell you, in the DeFi space, especially, sometimes people just put stuff out. They don't give you much explanation on anything. And to be honest, and some things that we've seen, some people don't want you to have an understanding of the project. Not us here. Again, we're all DeFi veterans. And everything is democratic, and we have multi signatures for everything. So, understanding that, essentially, we want to be fair to you guys first and foremost. That's what's most important. So so you'll see, as we go through the project, just how fair we are and some of the things that we offer here. So let's talk briefly about a near-term roadmap, and let's see if we can zoom it in here. Sorry if it's a little pixelated, guys. But this is what we have coming up for Stack Cash. So, and this is really, I'm be honest with you, it's kind of alpha information because we've literally just kind of put this out, and even the board, we might have some edits to make to this. But ultimately, we do want to get some information on what you guys can look forward to. So before we talk about what was coming or what's to come, let's kind of talk about where we've been with Stack Cash. So up until now, it's been an 8 month journey so far, but we've already released the version one of our light paper. You can check that out in the link tree. We've also released the version one of the white paper, which was released a week or so ago. So you can go and check that out and see all the details of the project. Another portion of the project that is already pretty much completed is we've had a HBOY NTT seed phase. So this is an opportunity for extremely early adopters to get in on a base level, and essentially, help the project grow, but also they'll be able to get up to 250% of their deposit back, which we're essentially, once the second phase is out, we'll be moving on from this first phase. So, you know, honestly, we're still kind of in that first phase. If you're interested in getting an HBOY NTT, feel free to reach out to the team in Telegram or Discord. But we'll talk more about the different. We have 4 launch phases. So basically a seed phase, um, to make sure that the project is taken care of in the early goings. And then when the project is launched, there's no, dev wallet getting a certain percentage of everybody's gains, or there's no, oh, we got the side wallet or, marketing wallet, nothing like that. The project is essentially, paid for through how the project does. And a lot of people, that's, especially in DeFi, that's not common. That's not common to have, a project where it depends on this, how well it does for it to continue going. So, main thing is getting the tokenomics right and making sure that everything's right up front. But either way, so we'll talk more about moving into the second phase of the launch of Stack Cash shortly. We've already completed AMAs. As you guys know, this is the 17th AMA. So, we've we've been doing this again, 17 out of 18 Saturdays. We've been right here talking about the project. And we also have All About Stack Cash, the video white paper series that you guys can kind of go check out. This is on YouTube. Please go follow us on YouTube, hit the subscribe, all that great stuff, and share it as well. But All About Stack Cash, which is a first mover in DeFi, nobody's done the white paper in video form, not to this extent. So these are the completed things that we've already done. That's really not added on this roadmap because it's already done, and we're just happy to have that to kind of push forward through. All right, so the next step we got here is we're talking about Q3. So for those of you guys who don't understand, Q1, Q2, Q3, what Q3 means is essentially, I think it's July, August, and September. So this is kind of where we are today. And this is especially for the next month or so, what you can kind of expect to have out for Stack Cash. And as I said before, we're at the top. We're just building that avalanche to kind of stroll downhill and continues to just grow and grow and grow. So it's going to be a lot of stuff coming out at you. So you want to be ready for it. Okay, looks like we got Vin on. Vin, what's going on?
I made it. What's up?
Hey, how's it going, man? I know you got stuff going on this Saturday, man. Happy you can join us.
Oh, absolutely. Always a pleasure to be here.
Heck yeah, man. How you feeling today, Vin?
Whew, I feel like I'm going in 100 directions, man. You ever get one of those days?
Listen, we're happy to have you, Vin, today. I know you got a lot going on, man. So, Vin he has his parties on Saturday, so Vin might have something he's doing today. But we appreciate you being on, man.
Yeah, man. I just found out I got another one on Sunday. Next Sunday.
Party. I love it.
Oh man, it's all good. I get to talk to people about that cash. That's even better.
I love it, man. There you go. Stack that up.
Yes, sir.
I love that. Also, if you guys get a chance, go check. Vin is doing a phenomenal job with TikToks. Man, he has some interesting TikToks. He has some of the ways he's been by the pool. Like Vin, Vin has a lot of good. He has some new ones out. Vin has a lot of good stuff going on. Check out Vin Man, Stack Cash on TikTok.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I told you, you want to come, give it a like, make fun of me, do whatever you got to do. But it's all good. I love it.
Very good, very good. So Vin, yeah. So today we're just talking about the roadmap. I know even as a board, we haven't had a lot of time to look over this.
Right.
But essentially, everything needs direction. So this is just a direction for us
Yep.
as a project. We're not going to hold you guys too long today because again, this is just talking about the future and some things that you can look forward to. Um, but this is just essentially, again, a roadmap to what we want to get achieved and what time frame we want to get it achieved in. So not only at this point, we've been measuring 3 times to cut once. We've been making sure we're careful with how we put this out. And even now, this week, we've had a lot of good dialect on how do we make this even more sustainable.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of board members kind of contribute ideas, and that's what's awesome about the project.
Oh yeah, man. Real busy in the background. I'll tell you, these ideas are fire too. Awesome.
Heck yeah. And I think Vin even said it in one of our board chats, that's what makes this project great. It's the many, many different ideas,
Yep.
It's just always have a different idea. It's so many different thoughts and so many different personalities, which is just awesome. So
Yep.
all right. So here on the roadmap, the first thing that we have here is the roadmap. So the roadmap release is set for Q3. And again, if you want to look forward to what's coming in the future, this is A1, and we'll make this available to you guys. We'll put this in the Telegram, Discord, all of that. But yeah, so that's the first thing is releasing this roadmap. And then right after that, we have the light paper V2 release. So we've already have a light paper that's out. Simple, straight to the point. But it also involves a roadmap with that as well. But either way, we'll make sure we have some tweaks on there to update you guys on what's going on with the project. Now, this next portion of the roadmap is really, really important. As I spoke to earlier, everybody needs a website, and nowadays, you're on your phone, you're on your pads, you're on your PCs, what have you. Everybody needs a website, and we have a website. We're very, very close to getting it out, guys. I promise.
Yep.
But, the website release is almost directly after the next light paper release. So, I'll be honest, maybe within this next week, you might have 2 to 3 things that's coming out.
Oh yeah.
Um, so yeah, but yeah, the website release is coming out, and that's where you'll be able to find information about StatCash. Also, you have a link to the DApp, and then primarily right now, what's going on is the early adopter launch. That's the next phase. We have 4 phases in our launch. That's the second phase. So that's where you can go to find all the information, and also you can reach anything else that you need. So, how do you feel about the website release, Van?
Oh, I'm excited about it, man. But even better that we're making sure that we're crossing T's, dotting our I's, and making sure it's gonna work fine and no issue. That's the most important thing. But hell yeah, man, web's very important. There you go. I saw that movie, Beanie Babies or whatnot, and like one of the things it was with them with marketing. I guess one of the women in there created the web. And the guy was like, "What's this?" No idea. And then all of a sudden, they were getting these mad, crazy orders. Everything started moving fast. So it's a pretty good movie too.
Beanie
But yeah,
Babies, okay.
well, it was like how it came to be, and what the story behind it. So pretty cool. It was the
Nice,
website that they created that really took it off. Made it take off.
nice. And you know what, Vin? We want that same effect here. Get that
Everything
website
nowadays.
out.
Yep, that's how it goes these days.
Yep, it's easy to share, and it's all the information to be right there. So this quarter, guys, and I don't even say this quarter, I would say in a matter of weeks, look forward to that website being out. Again, we're picking up what we're releasing, we're picking up the speed on what we have going. Next up is something I do want to kind of take some time to talk about, and that's the early adopter NTT launch. So I've already kind of touched on it earlier, talking about the website and what's going to be available on the website. But on the smack dab on the front page, the first thing you're going to see is the early adopter NTT launch. Again, I know DeFi. You guys want to buy a token cheap, you want to sell it high. I get it. And that's what we're used to. I get it. However, the one thing that you got to take into account that, it's almost like, a secret weapon of Stack Cash is that we're offering ownership first, and we're offering ownership for a reason. Now, everybody's going to realize, okay, Cashbox is like a CD project. Cashbox, especially some things we're working on now with Cashbox. Not only is it a CD kind of project, it's not just that. It's also it's going to have some similarities to something that's offered in a bank. So you're going to want to have a part of that. However, another tweak that we're adding is it's going to be very, very beneficial. I can't say this enough for you, especially to get aboard NTT. Just trust me on that. It's going to be very beneficial. If you like getting passive income, especially, it's almost like a surprise. Have you ever gotten, a gift that you wasn't expecting? Like, oh, whoa, I get this much stack. Oh, I get this much cash box principal. Trust me, guys, you want the ownership. The tokens are great, but you'll always be able to buy the stack token and cash token.
Yep.
The one thing is you want to own a part of this protocol. You're not going to want to miss that. And then certain aspects of the ownership you won't be able to go back and get. As we progress through the roadmap and progress through the project, it's going to become harder and harder to attain ownership. So get it early. The tokens will be there. And again, I want to mention this. All the board members, all the committee members, we all have buy-in to be here, right? We're nobody just hanging around, just mooching. That's not how it works. But one thing that is very, very important, especially if I'm a regular user, is understanding that you'll be able to make gains regardless from the protocol with these early adopters, with these NTTs. It's really, really the key to Stack Cash. So Vin, do you have anything to add on? I'm sorry, I'm just running my mouth. I'm just excited about the early adopter launch.
Yeah, I mean, really, it's like you said, it's awesome to have, because not only that, you get ownership, you get to sit down, you get to vote with us, you get to come up with ideas that could be voted on. Like, just being able to be part of ownership of something rather than having say a private sale, pre-sale token where then it launches and it just pumps and dumps, like you said. But this is totally different. You got an NTT and you're going to be getting some nice returns on that. You know what I mean? So yeah, absolutely great stuff.
And I'll tell you guys, I know Vin has been in business, and some of you guys have been in business. The one thing, you got to trust for your family, and just not financial advice, but everybody should have a trust. No matter what you got, you should have a trust.
Yep.
But with that, the main thing is, perpetuity, forever and ever. Nobody can take that from you. And that early adopter NTT launch is the next phase. It's the second of 4. Now we'll talk about the other 2 phases shortly. But again, we're focusing on what's right in front of us. Is the ownership is key, guys. So this is really important. And not only just that, to Vin's point about the ownership, the voting opportunities and all that good stuff. In addition, we'll have NTTs for sale later, but it's being an early adopter. It gets you a head start in the CD contract in Cashbox. It gives you a head start in CBC to get direct blue chip tokens in your wallet. It gets you a head start, or you can get USDC back depending on which one you choose. So up to 250% of your deposit will come back from being early. So all right. So we'll have the announcement of that this quarter. Also, the next phase of the NTTs is the team builder launch. Now, NTTs will still be available. It's not the early adopter, so you won't get no benefits from it as much. You will have an NTT, you can buy it in that phase. However, in the third of the 4 launches, the team builder launch is where you can start to build your team. Now, another key first mover for Stack Cash is how our protocol treasuries work. Everybody, if you want to get gains in Stack Cash, you got to be on a team. It can be chosen or you can be given. Either way. But you're going to make extra money. We don't care if you want it or not. You got to get these extra gains. That's how it's built. That's how the people want it that way. So that's how it's built. With this team builder portion, if you get up to 10 members on your team, this is prior to the Stack launch. So before anybody can put money in for Stack tokens, even before that, you want to build your team as soon as possible. The earlier you build your team, the more advantages you're going to have after the launch, and especially at the Stack token distribution. Now, I know this might be going over some people's heads. They're like, man, I don't know what you're talking about, Muddy. Like, what do you mean? It's not MLM model. So it's not, oh, well, I get on your team, you get 5-10% of all my stuff. No, 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 no. It's not built like that. Team leaders, they do benefit, but the way they benefit is strictly through their team treasury. So if they don't build a team treasury, they don't make gains. They don't just automatically get deposit percentages. That's not how this works. So building your teams. Now, our team builders, our team treasuries are not just built for influencers or just some people who know some people. It's also built for larger enterprises. So if you got a small business, if you got a social club, if you're in a fraternity, a sorority, it's built for that. And you guys have the opportunity to build your team treasury as large as you possibly can. There's no, mega team built already, nothing like that. So get in at the ground floor as a team builder. And also as you're a team leader, if during that phase, during that third of the 4 launches, if you have people on your team who get committee NTTs, who get board NTTs, there's also an additional advantage for you there. So, so that's the third of the 4 launches. What do you think about that, man?
It's phenomenal. Where else do you see that in different DeFi projects? True team building right there. No MLM. No, you don't have to worry about your team leader taking anything that you interact with the protocol with. Anytime you deposit or whatever it is, the team leader doesn't automatically get something and you get nothing. Everybody's got to interact. Everybody's got to participate. So that's awesome. True team building.
Exactly. And also, guys, I will say this. One thing that's great about our tokenomics, we don't talk about it often, is once you've built the team treasury, and you just say you're a part of a team treasury, you can change teams if you so choose. But as you build that team treasury, not only does it help the protocol because it keeps stack token out of circulation, but it doesn't go anywhere. So you get gains off how much is added to it, but you get these reflections and so forth and so on. The larger your team treasury grows, the more gains you're going to get. So trust me, we have your best interest on how the team treasuries are working. You're going to be able to take advantage of that. So that's the third of the 4 launches, and that'll be announced also in Q3. Getting back to the early adopter NTT launch, it also will be wrapped up in Q3. So it'll be before the team builder launch is actually out. So just make sure you guys are prepared for the early adopter NTTs and getting your ownership early. The ownership doesn't go anywhere. Tokens do. You can buy and sell tokens, but the ownership stays. Next up, this is the big one. I remember when I used to watch people in my family used to watch Red Fox. And he's like, this is the big one. This is the big one.
Elizabeth.
Right. The Stack Fair launch announcement will happen in Q3. Now, whether it's in a month, whether it's in 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 4 or 5, whatever, you will be able to get in at the Stack Fair launch and buy Stack tokens with no fees. This is really important because it's a liquidity drive event. But at that moment, everyone, including Vin, myself, all the board members, all the committee members, all of us will have an opportunity to buy a stake in Stack tokens at the very beginning of it, at the birth of it. This is key, guys, because I'll be honest with you. The Stack token, everybody's waiting on, I'm gonna buy some tokens. You can get it cheap. If you want to compare it, it's almost like a pre-sale, but it's really not. But it is a pre-sale, though. It's what you can get early to be prepared when the project is actually launched. So the Stack Fair launch is also going to be announced in Q3 and to be available to users to come on and start buying up that Stack token. Of course, NTC's are first, but then you got the Stack Fair launch. Then, do you want to add anything on the Stack Fair launch?
I did. Not only is that awesome, not only does everybody have to on that day, nobody gets nothing like you said ahead of time, but it's tax. It's tax.
Okay, then I think you cut out on us. That's okay. So yeah, I can hear you now. Yep.
Oh, all right. I was just saying like everything you said, but you know, it's at a fair launch, just like you were saying. We all have to buy in that week. Stop buying in, and nobody's getting anything beforehand. But the best thing about it is to take advantage of it is it's free. So phenomenal.
Exactly. No fees. Now the stack token is 10% in, 10% out when it's launched. But before, again, getting at that stack for launch, you can get it no charge, no fees.
Yep.
The next portion of the roadmap, and we're still in Q3, guys. So we're talking, to be honest with you, just by the end of September. um, so the team builder launch will be completed. So you have your base of teams. Now you can always join the team whenever you come on, but for the team builder launchers, the third of the four launches, what that is people, how much does it cost and all that? It costs you nothing to build a team. While you can still buy NTT at that phase, the main thing is just come approve, get your wallet on board with your team, and get set and ready to go. and then you just get ready for the stack fair launch. That's it. So all right, so that pretty much wraps up Q3. Now let's move on to Q4. This is the end of the year. So in Q4, the first thing you can expect is the white paper V2. So, we got a pretty much solid white paper right now. There might be some small tweaks, not big ones. So you're not going to have to replace the whole white paper. That's not what we're doing. However, if there's anything new to come in Stack Cash, we'll have a white paper that'll be released sometime early in Q4 this year. Another is the Stack Fair launch, or the Stack Fair launch being completed will be happening in Q4. So, but by in October, November, December, probably closer to October. I don't want to get that away, but in that time frame, the Stack Fair launch will have been happened, and then people will get their certain distributions based on how much they contributed during the event. So, gotta be a part of that liquidity drive event. It's important. Next up in Q4, and I'll move a little faster here, guys. We'll have the testnet released publicly. So if you want to test the smart contract out, that'll be available to you. So you can come and see what the DApp is all about, and then see the inner workings of it. One thing of note here is that we're not a closed source project, so we're open source. Is open, and people can see what's going on with it, and we're okay with that because again, we're built on transparency, and we're built on essentially everybody being open and being on the same playing field as far as making gains. So
Yep.
also in Q4, we have the DApp, or the official DApp website launch. So where you want to actually have a front end to go in and directly, make your transactions and get in the cash box, earn your rewards, get your stack tokens, get your reflect, all of that good stuff. You'll have a really good DApp that'll be launched, so you can get visuals on everything that's going on in the protocol. Along with that, we'll have stats and standings and other things where you can keep track of where you stand at all time when it comes to Stack Cash. Also, the next thing up will be a hackathon and bug bounties. Now, these real quickly, these are two different things. Bug bounties is we want you to find little small tweaks that we need to make. Again, we depend on the community. This is a community-driven project. Just like we're a DAO, everything's about vote and so forth and so on. We need the community's help with finding bugs in what's going on with the front end. If something doesn't work as well, if your rewards aren't adding up, that's when we can do it. We'll have bug bounties. So if you find some bugs, we might have a little something for you. So we definitely want all the participation there. And also, with all our Web3 contracts being created, sometime in Q4, we welcome all the white hats, all the devs who want to make some gains for finding errors. We welcome you guys to a hackathon where if you can hack us, if you try to, break the contract, you can do it at that point and you can get some rewards for it. This is really important. Security is first. We've seen issues previously in the DeFi space. We don't want any issues like that, especially when it comes to all of our money and your money. So a hackathon is really important. We want to get as many devs' eyes on this as possible. And if they can break it, especially before it's out, you break it, you got a little piece of it, so you can get a little reward from that.
Good stuff.
Now, one thing, especially with the early adopter phase, one thing that's important is the audits. We're not just putting out a project out of thin air that doesn't have professional audits on it. This is really, really important to us. So we'll have our major audit number one released and our major audit number two released during Q4. This is going to be important, especially a lot of people want to make sure everything's safe and everything's been tested by outside sources other than the devs that we work with and even other than the hackathon. So we'll have, trust me on this, guys, we'll have major, you'll know the names of the audit companies of DeFi projects. That's all they do is audit DeFi projects. We'll have those released sometimes in Q4 as well. And then also in Q4, we have our DEX liquidity added. So as you guys know, we'll have a stack cash DEX and we'll also work with the pancake swap DEX while we're on Binance Smart Chain. So having the liquidity added, again, there's no dev wallet holding all the funds, and there's no way that somebody's holding the funds from you. The DEX would be loaded into the liquidity and it'd be available. And you guys know what happens in these centralized finance. That means we're rocking and rolling. So
Yes, sir.
mhm. And you'll be able to, it's just a regular decentralized exchange. So you can trade cryptos, whatever you need to do.
Yeah.
But the liquidity added means that the project is a go. So that'll be in Q4. Also, the stack distribution. We already talked about the four phases, the four launch phases. The stack fair launch, whomever participated in that, they will get their stack tokens. And more importantly to the protocol, the treasuries and everything will, and even liquidity as well, will get their stack tokens at that distribution. And that's when we'll really be off to the races. That's when we're actually live. So that happened in Q4 as well. The stack and cash products will be open. And this next one, while we're DeFi for DeFi users, by DeFi users, while of course we cater to DeFi and crypto, that's who we are. We also want to use and partner with other sites and other resources around the space. So Stack Cash, we're gonna be listed on CoinMarketCap, or shoot to be listed on CoinMarketCap and CoinGecko in Q4. So once the Stack token is launched, and we'll also be on Dex Screener as well, right? But once it's launched, you'll be able hopefully to find us on these major platforms that talk about all cryptos. So if you're looking at thousands and thousands of cryptos, you'll see the Stack token. And even a cash token will be listed on these sites, and that's what we'll be shooting for. So, what you think about that, man?
That's exciting, my friend, isn't it? Just seeing that on there makes that hard work pays off. Boom. I can't wait.
You be in the game,
Yeah.
And I think CoinMarketCap is number one, but that's when you will see, okay, what is this Stack token? Right? Why is this price going up like this?
I mean, once you see something like that too, it's like, you're going to be like, man, I should have been in that Stack fair launch. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And even then, even if I wasn't in the Stack fair launch, I should have dang on got an NTT so I could still get Stack tokens. Just from
Yep.
automatically to my wallet, just random. I might wake up to more Stack one day. I don't know. Yep. So we'll be listed. We shoot to be listed there. Also, we have a DeFi influencer marketing drive announcement. So essentially, we know that especially in DeFi, word of mouth and especially influencers are very important. Most of our team, V and myself, we're all influencers. But we want even more influencers, especially with what we've seen recently in the DeFi. People want to talk about the DeFi space. And we know that people are going to want to talk about Stack Cash. So we have an announcement of a marketing drive with DeFi influencers. We have some special things in store for that. But yeah, just stay tuned for that. But that'll be in Q4. And last but not least, in Q4, we'll have the crypto marketing drive announced. So that's for the broader crypto space. So some cross chain and some other opportunities that again, we're just a small subset of crypto within the DeFi space. We're looking, you guys love, XRP, you love Shiba, you love Doge, you love all Bitcoin, obviously, Ethereum, those the giants, right? So we're gonna have a marketing drive to be able to reach these different crowds as well, and that'll happen in Q4.
Yep.
All right. So let's talk 2024, top of the year. I'm gonna move through these fairly quick. So we'll have a DeFi influencer marketing drive complete by Q1. So we'll have more influencers on board. We'll find ways to get them on board, but that is going to be exciting and fun. We'll also have a crypto marketing drive complete at that time. So we reached out to these other crypto spaces and other groups and things like that in order to have them understand us as a layer two and what we'll have to offer. Then we'll have in Q1 a general marketing drive announcement. Now, what this is when I say general marketing, that's your buddy at work, that's your colleagues, that's your friend from high school, all
Yep.
of them, billboards. I don't know,
Yep.
random social media marketing. That's what we're talking about. Really getting people who don't even probably even know much about crypto other than Bitcoin, getting them into Stack Cash to understand passive rewards. So again, we have a really strong marketing plan, and up until now, it's been all about the contract and all about the basic information. But as we grow, it's going to be about getting the message out. So that'll happen in Q1. Also, listing on all major platforms. So having Stack and a cash token listed is going to be important. This is a big one, kind of going back to the general marketing. It kind of happened at the same time. The fiat on ramp added, whether it's us partnering with another company for that, or whether it's something on our site. The fiat on ramp is going to be where you can come from, getting your crypto directly into Stack Cash, or taking your dollar and going through all the whole, basically cut on a lot of steps to come directly to Stack Cash so you can earn. So that'll be based on Q1 of 2024. Another thing, and this is especially important because we're layer two. And what that means is Stack Cash can be built on top of your favorite blockchain. So we're starting on Binance Smart Chain, but you also have Pulse Chain, you have Ethereum, you have Bitcoin, you got Ordinals, BRC 20s, I think. You have all these other blockchains, Arbitrum, Polygon. Stack Cash will have an opportunity to, as a layer two, be launched on other blockchains as well. So the cross-chain partnerships is something, again, we're not built to be a lone wolf. It's just our native tokens. No. It's not built like that. We're built to be partners with other projects and other parts of the space. So cross-chain partnerships will be announced then. Now, we're a DAO. So remember, that allows you to have a voice. All right. So you get to, vote, through our website and so forth and so on, based on what entity you hold and all that. But again, remember we told you guys that, this project can be basically upgraded by the people. So we'll have other additional games. Now we have some board members that's working on additional gamification, right? But having a vote on which game we should add at that point will happen in Q1 around that time. So stay tuned for that, because again, this is not it. While we have the white paper, we're built to adapt and grow. Whatever's new coming along, something new kind of game you guys think would be cool, it'll come to a vote. But that's when we'll have that. Also, we'll have our DAO approved CBC Blue token nominations and voting. Again, what token do you guys want next? Do you guys want Ethereum after Bitcoin? We'll most likely start with Bitcoin. Do you want BNB after that? Whatever it is, we'll have a vote amongst the DAO, and that'll happen sometime in Q1. We'll also have updated UI. What we're put out first is going to be, the main thing is making it functional. We want it to work. We want it clean, concise, and able to work. However, it's always the next level. So we want to push up to that next level, get some updated UI out to you guys, and always stay, at the very front of the market as far as, how we look and how we present ourselves. Then I used to play ball, man, and our coach always said, man, you look better, you play better. You tuck that jersey in.
I tell you what, man, I was always being like, or being presentable enough. You know what I mean? It's just, don't care how dirty I got, all nice and tucked in and whatnot, just like, you know what I mean? It's just an appearance, man. That's big appearance.
Exactly. The look is important, so we'll keep that up to date. And last but not least, in Q1 of 2024, we'll be looking forward to a DAO approved CBC token launch, blue chip token. So we'll have a new blue chip pool, so forth and so on. That'll be able to you'll be able to participate through our project. So last but not least, I'll get through these very fast. It's Q2 2024. We'll have a general marketing drive complete. So remember, we talked about general marketing for everybody. We'll have that essentially complete. Now that never ends, but we'll have a mass push that'll be ending around that time. Also, the cross-chain partnership search will be complete. So at that point, we'll be engaging with these other projects and other groups across different chains by that point. And we most likely will have a solid group of partnerships built at that time. Another thing in Q2 is the second layer one for Stack Cash Vote. Now, this is big because, again, as you all know, Binance Smart Chain, has, great sustainability. It's fairly priced. It's cheap, basically. We'll have all these things, but we're going to want to move to different blockchains. And that's why we're built as we are. Like, Ben always talks about us being a layer two and how important that is because we're a tool, right? Probably one of the most important tools in your financial tool shed. Ooh, I hope you like that. but us as a tool, again, we're not just limited to the Binance Smart Chain. There's other blockchains that's going to need a layer two like Stack Cash, and that's what we'll have a vote on, where everybody in the DAO will have a vote. But that'll be announced in. Another thing, so some people have said, hey, what's your outside utility, and where else are you guys getting funds from? So one thing, obviously, our CBC contract lets us partner with anybody, really in and outside of crypto. But another piece that we'll have is merchandise. Now, y'all like merch, right? Y'all like hats, t-shirts, and jackets, and socks. People like everything. We'll have some merch available. And we'll do that where it benefits the protocol. But we'll have an announcement of that in Q2. Now, we're a little ways off from that, but we still want to make sure you guys have something so you can support your Stack Cash. You can see that nice logo, you know what I'm saying? And then have somebody ask you, hey, what's that? What's that? Yeah, so we'll have that announced at that point. Also, the mobile app announcement. So we want to do more than just, be kind of buried within a website, which is great. We'll have a website, but also a mobile app will enable you to hopefully connect and be able to get your funds and work with it through an application through your iOS, Android, whatever you have. So we'll announce that also in Q2. Moving forward, we'll have the CBC blue chip token number 3 nominations and vote. So obviously getting more blue chips there. We add new partners, and that means general partners as well, other platforms, so forth and so on. We'll also be looking to probably promote our cross-chain partnership, the first one during Q2. So look forward to that. Then we'll have this, going back to what we were talking about in Q1, is our DAO-approved additional game to be added within the Stack ecosystem. One thing to add here, the Stack token is going to always be the Stack token. The cash token always going to be stable. It's going to be the cash token. That's what we have in the white paper right now. The base of it is always going to be the same. However, again, there's going to be more gamification here. So by that time, we want to that game that we voted on in Q1, we want to have that available for launch in Q2. And then also the blue token number 3 will be launched at that time. And last but not least, we'll have our second layer 1 for Stack Cash announced. So whether it's Ethereum, whatever y'all vote on, honestly, Polygon, whatever it is, whatever the second layer 2 that we'll be on will be announced at that time. Oh man, that was a lot.
Good stuff, man. Think about all the stuff going on in this project right here. I mean, we're just getting started, right? But just being thinking about the future and the evolve, like we're gonna have, like being on different blockchains and gamification on different blockchains. It's like that's our goal right here. Is like bringing a community back together. Not just being on Binance, just about Stack Cash. It's about everybody out there who likes whatever it is you like, and trying to bring it all together in one place and help earn that that extra token. That's like, so yeah, this is big.
Well said, Vin. Well said. We're the glue, man. Not just within DeFi, not just within
Yeah.
crypto, but
Yep.
also on a bigger level. And I think that's just really important. You know, being that glue. You know what I'm saying? That
Yeah.
one project that can bring all this stuff together is really,
Yeah.
really key. So good.
Yeah.
Well said, man. So we'll have the roadmap that'll be available to you guys. We'll put that in the link tree. We'll also get that promoted out in our Telegram and our Discord. So look forward to that. Ultimately, Vin, what do you think about the roadmap and what do you think about stuff we have to come?
Oh man, all the talks that we're having right now, it's like, whew, it's incredible. Like I'm still taking it in. Like I reread everything we're talking about because I'm trying to picture how this is going to end up being and like how like huge it's going to be. Like everybody out there, like this is definitely not a boring project. I tell you what, man, you have to be here. You have to show up and interact with this Stack Cash project, man. But yeah, the roadmap's looking great. Hopefully we can stay on path. But if we can't, we'll be sure to update everybody about that. We're not going to leave anybody behind. But yeah, I'm just excited, Mo, about what's to come, man. This is incredible.
Definitely, man. So guys, we'll talk about it as a board. We'll get this put out and also look forward to what's next. Remember the website and the early adopter launch, buying your NTTs. You want to get the ownership early and get some extra, utility from that. I was just saying, with some extra gains from that. That's
Yep.
what you want to do. So we'll have that available. What's going on, PG? He said, thanks. Hey, happy to see you, PG. Happy to see you. All right,
So,
guys. So this is this has been our 17th AMA. We thank you guys for joining us today. We talked about the roadmap and we talked about the phases, the launch phases. Feel free to check us out. We're on pretty much all social media. And also, if you're watching this now, hit that like, leave a comment, and ask us questions, what have you. We're always available. We'll also have a VC, or maybe do a Twitter Spaces, X Spaces, I should say, coming up this Wednesday. So stay tuned in the Telegram for that. Do you have anything else, Vin?
oh man, I think we talked about a lot today. But yeah, like as always, we invite you to come visit us. Like Mo said, come hang out with us in the chat room. We'd love to talk. We want some questions. We want to answer some questions and give us some feedback on we put out there for you so far. We like constructive criticism, right? We'll take anything. But yeah, looking forward to meeting a bunch of people here and talking to them. So other than that, just stay tuned, and check the pin messages when you show up into the Telegram or the Discords and see what's to come.
Good stuff. Good stuff. All right. So, guys, some Stack Cash from the board committee. We thank you again, and feel free to enjoy your Saturday. See you next time.
Have a great weekend.